Okay, so how did I translate the Lord's Prayer into Sumerian? So the first thing I had to do was find out what words do not directly translate, or at least haven't been directly attested. So the obvious ones are the Old English words like art, thy, and hallowed. Other words that aren't directly attested are trespass, temptation, and believe it or not, forgive. And also, the word trespass and temptation are kind of similar. They could both be described as sin, but I didn't want to use the same word for both. So for trespass, I used the word namtaga, which is widely attested as sin. And for temptation, I used the word lunga, which can also translate to sin, but in a more shameful, blasphemous type of way. I just didn't want to use the same word twice. And for hallowed, I combined the word magnificent and holy. Art in heaven just means to be, or who is in heaven, so I used the interrogative pronoun attached to the enclitic copula abam for that. And thy is the Old English pronoun for your, so I just used the second person possessive pronoun, your. So I can't explain the entire Sumerian grammatical system to you over one video, so I'm just going to give you the basic and essential rules that you would need to know for this passage. So firstly, Sumerian uses a subject, object, verb, word order, as opposed to English subject, verb, object. A basic noun phrase has to follow this word order, and this is the basic verbal template. However, most of the verbs in this passage are in the imperative mood, which flips all of the morphemes of the verbal chain to the right side of the verbal base. I'll just give you a quick example of the difference between the two. So I don't know whether this is you or not, but yesterday I come across a question on Reddit which was asking the exact same thing. Could you please translate the Lord's Prayer into Sumerian? And the uploader had to go with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gave this example. I mean, I could spend hours pointing out the mistakes here from ChatGPT, but I'm just going to stick to this part of this one sentence, which is attempting to say, give us this day our daily bread. And the whole sequence is inaccurate for Sumerian grammatical rules. But this is one of the verbs that's in the imperative mood. It should be saying, give us, which is the imperative mood. But instead, this actually says, he gave to me. It's in the hamtu finite tense, and it's in the singular. But it should be in the plural imperative, give us, which flips the morphemes to the right side of the verbal base, and it should be in the plural. So it should read, Shumaib. So anyway, I could spend all day explaining the ins and outs of the Sumerian grammatical functions. So bearing in mind everything we just spoke about, from here I give a direct translation in English, but using the Sumerian grammatical rules, and then convert that into Sumerian transliteration, and then I just convert that to Sumerian signs. But I'm going to leave on the screen now a series of photos of the gradual process. I hope this gives you some kind of clarification.